What's up? So today I wanted to talk about Star versus the Forces of Evil. It's not one of my more, common topics, but I'm kind of into the show and I had one theory that no one else is talking about, so I figured I might as well bring it up because it seems very obvious and it is also very groundbreaking. But why did it do that? It was scary. Marco is the rightful Prince of Mewni. It makes total sense. After the episode where Marco uses Star's wand to summon the all-seeing eye, we all clearly saw the Mewman cheek marks. So many people were theorizing that he and Star were related somehow, and the connection is there, but it doesn't start to make sense until we found out later that Star and Eclipsa aren't actually related, and the real butterfly lineage goes somewhere else. Of course, I mean Meteora. She's been around for generations. If you look at the official family tree, Eclipsa and Meteora and all that jazz happened way before Star and Moon. So what happened during all that time? You mean to tell me that over decades, Meteora just stayed single? I think there's a very high probability that the reason Meteora went AWOL at St. Olga's is because maybe she fell in love with a guy, maybe they even got married and they had a kid, but then he found out about her whole monster lineage and he bailed. And she went crazy with heartbreak, shut down St. Olga and took over. There's enough motive there to make that a reasonable, plausible explanation. Where I'm going with this is I'm pretty sure that Marco is the descendant of Eclipsa and Meteora, specifically through his mother. Here are some of the things I noticed that support this theory. Okay, Marco's mole. Now, we all can clearly see it. It's been there since day one. It's just a little character quirk, I guess you could say. It's nothing that groundbreaking. And yet, they've brought it up a couple of times. Like when Star's wand transformed for Marco when he picked it up and Jana added the mole to it. It's just these subtle little hints that keep that in the forefront of your mind. It's like the writers are saying, hey, remember, he has this mole. Remember that. And if you notice, Meteora has the same mole in the same spot. Doesn't that just strike you as a little bit odd?
Coincidence? I think not!
Not to mention, there's just the general face shape. Eclipsa, Star, and Marco all share a generally similar character design. That's kind of a butterfly trait, I guess you could say. And there's one more thing, the eyes. Eclipsa's eyes, Meteora's eyes, they have that very, I guess you call an eye-shaped eye in comparison to Star's big oval eyes anyway. And lo and behold, Marco's mother, if you look really closely, looks very much like Eclipsa. She's got that same curly, wavy hair design going on. She's got the same eyes. Well, sort of. And didn't anyone else find it extremely odd in the episode where Marco goes back to Mewni to be with Star that she is totally fine with it all? His father is there, asking why on earth they're sending their son to another dimension without any real rhyme or reason, and his mother is just all like,
shh, Marco needs to have his own French summer.
It's almost like she knows something. It's almost like she knows Marco needs to know about Mewni and needs to go there. Almost as if he's destined to be the true Prince of Mewni. Does that strike you as a little bit odd? There are just too many coincidences here to make you turn a blind eye. They look very much alike. Marco's mother is very suspicious when it comes to the subject. And for crying out loud, we saw Marco with Mewman cheek marks. He definitely has Mewman blood. And all these theories floating around that he and Star are related, or that Marco is actually from this colony of humans that got sent to the moon or whatever from the Book of Spells. Like, no. The simplest answer is always the best, and this is the one that's been in front of us all along, but no one has bothered to talk about. The final nail in the coffin here is the Blood Moon Ball, when that painting of the sailor talks to Marco and encourages him, sort of, to go and get Star. As we now know, Celeria is Eclipsa's mother, and she had Eclipsa with a sailor. That sailor, the same sailor who Eclipsa talks to as a portrait in Star's bedroom. It's the same sailor, who in this instance would be Marco's great-great something or other grandfather. Everything about this theory just works out perfectly. You can't deny that. It's all very suspicious. Yeah. And, bonus, it leaves the floodgates open for lots and lots of Starco shipping. Because, well, if you think about it, them getting married unites both of their families. So they both get to be royalty, and that fixes literally everything. It's the perfect solution, and I can't believe no one else has noticed this before me. It's very plausible. Think about that. I have plausibility on my side. Yeah. So that has been my Star versus the Forces of Evil theory for today. Yep. I watched Star versus the Forces of Evil. What am I doing with my life?